Avatar: The Way of Water, the sequel to the most highest grossing film of all time. And James Cameron has been talking about this for years. He's been talking about these sequels to Avatar, for years and years and years. And we're like, Mr. Cameron we'll wait till we see it. But we're here 13 years later. We got the first sequel out of a collection of 4. And I just got back seeing the movie, and I have to say, the movie is stunning. It's beautifully to look at. But this movie is not good. This is a really poor movie. This movie, while watching it, made me just go, oh my god, we're doing this again. Because all this movie is, so the movie is 3 hours and 12 minutes long, right? And you may say, well, okay, you found the movie a tad bit long, right? What you say, maybe it should have just been 3 hours, or it should be like maybe 2 hours and 50 minutes or something. And I'm like, no, like 2 hours, maybe 2:10 if you want to include credits. Like, because this whole movie has such a small plot, so tiny, small skeleton of a plot, that the rest of the movie is just stretched out to fill that 3 hour gap, that 3 hour time limit. Because a good chunk of this movie is just repeating scenes with different situation and saying to the audience that it's different. And it isn't. Because you're just repeating that scene because a certain character doesn't learn, and you're having the same conversation, which is basically Jake having the same conversation with his kids, saying to the youngest to say, "I told you, you should have. Why are you not listening to me?" All that kind of stuff, and saying to his old son, to the old older brother, I have said to you to protect your little brother. You should, and it's literally the same fucking conversation for like an hour, and you're like, why? It's not different if someone's drowning. It's not different if someone's getting kidnapped. It's not different if this happens or in the sky or whatever. It's not different over the environment. It's the same shit, right? And also, it's switched out because it's trying to be a fake commercial, because Pandora's not real, to come to Pandora. Come and see our beautiful trees and our beautiful landmarks and our beautiful ocean and our tribes, and come to Pandora with our beautiful sea creatures. Come to Pandora. That's mostly what this movie is. It is also a montage of the characters going underwater and going, ooh, that's beautiful. That's a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, can we move on? I get it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful cinematography. But guess what? It's meaningless. You know, so what's amazing to look at or amazing to happen? Sex. Sex can be amazing when it's meaningful. And Avatar: The Way of Water is meaningless sex. Yeah, hashtag. Avatar 2: The Way of Water is meaningless sex. That's literally what the fucking movie is. Because the plot is that the Wings are back, they want Jake Sully because of the events of the first film, and also what their plans are for the remaining of the film, and causing a mating probably also for the sequels. And they have got these Aween clones of these avatars to hunt down Jake Sully. Jake Sully goes to this other tribe along with his family to get away from the war and get away, but these Aweens, they're all like, we need to get Jake Sully. And by the way, that's basically a fucking impression on these characters. The characters are weak. The characters are weak as piss. Because all they are their little sentence. You know what Jake Sully's character is? He's a father. He's a tough father. And that's his character. Because as I mentioned, there's a scene where he just repeats the same scene, repeats the same sentences. And I'm like, we had this 5 times. Oh, No, this time it's a different version. It's a different version. It's a different character. Okay. No, same thing. You got forgot Zoe Saldana character. I forgot her character's name, but her character, her motivation, her whole thing is that she's a mother, and that's it. I'm like, and the only time there's rage or emotion is through a motherly mindset, a motherly, and I'm like, mindset and motherly motivations and all that. And I'm like, oh my God, what's this, the 90s? Can we move on? It can, guess what? Women can be a little bit more than just, yes, women can be mothers, but they can be fucking more than that. You don't, like, I'm like, this is the same guy who did True Lies. Where he, James Cameron written True Lies and had the Jamie Lee Curtis character and made her three-dimensional. Well, this character, Zoe Saldana's character, is just a one note, she's a mother. And I'm like, what? And that's it. As I said, you have the sons who, like, one doesn't listen and one gets told off for not, protecting his younger brother. You have a love interest. You have this kind of love interest character for the youngest, for the youngest brother, and all her thing is like, I met a guy, and that's it. That's her character. You got Zoe Weaver's character, who is playing an Avatar, who's playing one of the daughters, and there's a link to her character from this film to the character she played in the first film. I just, her thing is like, I want to know my past, and it's like, it's just a simple line, a simple sentence, and I'm like, can we have more? It's like, I'm looking at the bone, but there's no meat. It's not meat. There's not even any flesh. It's not like someone just ate and it has a little bit of it's not. It's just a clean bowl. It's a clean thing. It's just, and I'm like, oh, and they have bullies. We had the bullies. They're so, because this other tribe is bright blue, and because Jake's kids are hybrids of Ari and humans, they have like five fingers and that type of thing. These bullies, I'm like, there's no need. The Samuel Well storyline, there's no need. It doesn't follow the plot outside of, like, well, it's followed the plot because, third act stuff. And when the third act happens, I don't care. The villains are absolutely cartoony and ridiculous, and it has no dimension whatsoever, because they're just wins. They're wins, and they are tough, and that's it. That's what it's like. You know what? The male characters are the top male characters, and the women are just these naive. And the only time they get angry is when something really, mostly happens to one of the kids. And I'm like, yes, that could be a part of it. That can be a motivation. But for fuck's sakes, can we bring a little bit more? I just, clearly, I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, what you can see, as I said, I just came back seeing the movie, and I'm like, oh, this is just a bull pile. I don't care when people die, because it's being dragged on, and to the point I don't care anymore, or I can't be invested. It's just, it feels cinema that belongs in the 90s, or that belongs in the early 2000s. We have a grown of what storytelling, and we're able to flesh out the characters more. It's just, I'm probably missing something also. Like, I'm probably like, oh, there's this and this and this. But, yes, the movie's visually beautiful, but you need more. You need more. Oh, and by the way, let me end off with the bullies. I briefly touched the bullies thing. The bullies are so cartoony, right? They're like, hey freak, how you going, man? You're freaks. You're fucking. You're fucking. You're a freak. You're a mutant. And there's the fist fight, all that. And I'm like, you know what? All he needs to do is prove himself and have a little bit of teasing. He proves himself. He's worthy in the tribe, and that's it. Well, we need the whale story. Like, well, no, you don't need a whale story. Like, all you need is show that there's a whale. They're in trouble, and then the third act can come along. And by the way, maybe don't have a Scooby-Doo that make your kids like Daniel and the Sweaters. Don't put that, because the kids get kidnapped like 4 times. So there's that. To the point, I'm like, it's just repeating scenes and repeating dialogue and all that. This is the last movie of the year I'm going to cover. Outside, like maybe doing a watch along here and there, but I'm just like this. Hopefully, Avatar, because this movie's gonna make a lot of money. So naturally, Avatar 3 is gonna happen. Well, Avatar 3 is getting filmed, so it probably will happen already. But Avatar 4 is gonna get made, and Avatar 5 is gonna get made. Clearly, so hopefully the next 3 movies, there's more depth, there's more growth, there's more nuance towards it, and it's just flesh out your fucking character. And there's the Jungle Book thing. Hey, remember the first one we all joked about, like, oh, Avatar's this Fern Gully or Dance of the Wolves? There's Jungle Book now. Yeah, it's Jungle Book in space. And the dialogue is awful. The dialogue is so fucking awful. That's the dialogue that belongs in the 2000s. It's just, every time that one of the characters speaks, or like mainly the young kids speak, the kids speak, I go, oh, this is shit. Yeah, what are you gonna do, asshole? It's that type of dialogue. I'm like, piss off. I'm not a fan of the movie, clearly. I'm not a fan of the movie, and I should just press that stop button before I wet any more in that. So, just, this movie's just not good. Just not good.